Okay guys, this is a 2007 or no 2006 Quadroporte, Maserati Quadroporte. We're trying to replace this thing because we diagnosed that the wiper part is worn out or broken because the wipers are not working. So in order to do that, you have to take these 3 bolts, but it's actually one Phillips, it's actually 2 Phillips bolts and 1 8mm nut. It's better to take them off because you can push the plastic up and down, because it will be easier for you to actually open the airbag, because there's a hole here and you have to stick something sharp, something pointy like this pick tool. And I opened this side already, but basically you get in there and the direction that you're gonna go is this right here, because the opening spring is in this part right here. So you need to go with this tool pretty much pointy like this and kind of go. As soon as you go, you're gonna feel a little support or little resistance. That is the spring that you need to push down to open the steering, the airbag. You see this side is already loose. I forgot to mention that in order to take the airbag out, you need to disconnect the battery and you need to push the seat all the way back. Now I need to turn the steering wheel all the way to the other side so we can go in and do this side. Well, on the left side we have a strange situation. Basically there is a hole here, but that hole is not where it's supposed to be. And I believe there is I can actually feel a hole under the leather where it's the actual hole, but the leather does not have a hole, so you guys are gonna have to make a hole yourselves. Well, that is not a hole. Okay, so I need to keep looking for actual hole. The reason why I asked you to disassemble these two is actually because of these scratches here. That's what happens when you actually end up using tools to try to disconnect the airbag. So basically they're just gonna scratch the surface because first of all it's pretty old, second of all it's some kind of a rubberish kind of a cover or surface on this plastic, so it scratches very easily or very easy. So again, just remove it like this, disconnect the 2 parts. You have to push the upper part in and then push it up. So the second hole is actually the hole where we found where it is. There is no other hole, and apparently we have to go in and then just push down until it disconnects the spring. Okay, here we go. So basically we just push down, you go in, and there's a specific spot. It's probably just straight in, and you push down until you disconnect the airbag. Well, basically what it does is there's a pin here that gets pushed down, so when you going like this, you're pushing down on the pin, so it's pushing down this side, and it's the same on the other side. Oh, this is the reason why the holes are a different place. So this hole is actually right here. It's lower than the right side. The right side, the hole is actually over here. The right side, the hole is right here. So when you go in the back, just use this guidance to pull or to push your pin tool or a screwdriver in. Use like a small screwdriver. This is the direction that you're supposed to use. On the right side is this, and then on the left side is this. I need to disconnect the battery in order to continue, and you need to be very careful with these, but these are the locks, so they have to come out before you disconnect the contact. So this is one lock, and this is the second lock. Then you can disconnect the airbag. This is it. Now we need to keep going, which in this case would mean that I have to find a locking nut here. So the nut is underneath. It's a strange looking nut. It's basically like a metal piece shaped in a nut, but there's a plastic cover that you need to take first, because this thing locks on top of the nut. So just use a hook tool and just kind of pry it out on the sides and just pull it, and it'll come out. This is what it looks like, and I believe I need to get now my tools. This thing looks like I believe it's 22 millimeters. So let me get my tools. Before we loosen the nut, there is a wire here. I just realized, because these two wires are going to go through the hole, but this one needs to be disconnected from this connector. You need to push your hook tool through this hole. It has a little tooth, and this will come out. This is the little tooth that you need to push. So now we're ready to loosen the nut. Okay guys, the actual nut is 24 millimeter. not 22. So I'm going to use an impact gun just to loosen it. That's it. This is the actual nut. And this is it, loose. So you just got to be careful when you take the steering wheel. Actually, before you take it, the best thing you can do is you have to mark where the steering wheel was. This is extremely important for your steering angle sensor, so it doesn't get screwed and you actually remember and you put the steering wheel back in the right place. And you're going to use this little notch as a guide. Just use a black marker. I'm trying to show you is, again, extremely important. You have to mark where the steering wheel was. Well, okay, this is a washer, so we need to get the washer out first. Okay, somebody seems to have marked this already, because this marking is from somebody else. Now we can pull the steering wheel out, and you have to be careful with these wires. It'll probably be better if you take the black one first. Yep, black one first. Black one first, and then the airbag wires. And be careful not to break the locks. So push them one by one. And make sure, always make sure this thing doesn't spin. This is your steering angle sensor, because inside it has tracks. They spin in one direction only, so if you overspin it in whatever direction, it has a limit and you will brake, the tracks, the electrical tracks inside, and the steering angle sensor is always expensive to replace, and you have a procedure to do and this and that, so it's a big mess. So make sure, because this is the most important thing right now, this sensor, you have to be extremely careful with it. So if you're going to remove it, always make sure that you leave it at the same place and you install it in the same place you removed it. Again, just to show you where the holes are, this is the passenger side, that's the driver's side. Driver's side is a little bit low, or lower than the passenger side. Now we have to remove this lower part, so basically start from the right side, because it's easier to get off. Just pull it down here. This side here, the left side, needs to be pushed out a little bit more, because you have this is the plug for the steering wheel position control, and this thing has a little clip, so you just push down on the clip. And you disconnect it. That's the little clip. Okay, it seems that I need to take this steering angle sensor out. So it has 1, 2, 3 bolts. So they're right here. 1, 2, and 3, because it basically sits on top of this. And actually this place right here, you can use these 2 holes and put a zip tie to lock this before you take it off, so it doesn't move. This is what I did to lock the steering angle sensor. I just put a zip tie through the 2 holes. I had to kind of bend the end so it'll go through, but this is what it looks like, just so you can lock it so you don't make a mistake and destroy it. And now you can take the 3 bolts out. Bolts are out, and before you take the sensor off, you need to make sure you disconnect the actual connector that is on the bottom. Looks like somebody has been through this before. So you gotta push and pull out. There you go. And really careful. You take it out. It's locked, so this is how it goes. It uses these two teeth, and they go inside here. They go inside this one and the one on the other side. Actually, I only see one. I only see one tooth. It's just the one on the left side. So the next step is we have to remove this frame right here, this metal frame. that holds the pedal shifters. It seems that there's nothing on the bottom because I can move it a little bit, so there's nothing here holding it. There are no bolts, and it just goes like this, and then it goes up, and the only thing I can see holding it is these hex bolts or Allen on the side. So there's one here and there's another one here on the upper left and right side. I ended up removing this top cover because it's in my way and it's easier to go around these bolts. So basically it just has these two knobs. You have these two little Phillips screws and they go right in here. One, the other one is right here. So it's easier and better for you to remove it, and anyway you wouldn't scratch it anymore because I already kind of scuffed it a little bit trying to open the airbag. So this is what's going to happen if you are not careful. I believe this could be a little kind of smudged a little bit and it wouldn't look that bad, but this feels like a rubberish coating on top of plastic, so you need to be careful. Next step is to remove these Allens. I am going to use a Torx because it's just easier for me. I believe the Torx is T25. Okay, something is holding it underneath. Okay, I think I see another Allen here, so we need to remove this. So there's another Allen here right underneath this plug. Same way. Here we go. Make sure you don't lose these. So it looks like this whole thing just slides out. And here we have the wiring. So there's a contact somewhere behind there. Here's the contact. Here's the contact or the actual plug. Again, same deal, you press, you unhook, and you get it out. Getting close. So from what I can see, we have this white one, which is this one here. The same deal, a hook, you unhook it, so there we go. And we have 1, 2, 3 plugs, which are 1, 2, 2, and we have 3. And the only thing holding it would be this bolt with this locking mechanism in the back, which is, I can see it, it's right down there. There we go. So I need to get another tool to loosen this thing up. Okay, the Allen size is size 5. I believe this is 5mm. So it's just down here. It's down here. Already loosened the bolt. Make sure you remember how everything goes. It seems like there's a one tooth here and another tooth behind, and there's also on the right side there's another tooth. You could probably also remember that there's a little notch here, like a little hole, and there's another little hole down there. There's one hole here. There's the tooth here, and there's a white and a black tooth, but I believe the black should be staying in the same place where it's supposed to be. Now we just gotta pull this out. Okay, I need my 2 hands. The reason why this wouldn't pull out is because there is a metal tooth right here. It's this thing here. So this thing is held by these plastic teeth. As you can see, the one holding it, it just breaks out because this metal part is basically holding the whole cylinder. There's no way to get this out without breaking this, but well, it seems like it's already broken because the used part that we got was taken off the same way and they broke the tooth. Well, that is what it is. This was the last plug that goes in here. And now I will put the used one, and I will only plug the plugs to test this part and to see whether our wiper is going to work. So I decided to plug everything temporarily to test the wiper lever before installing everything. So everything is plugged up with the airbag. I don't want to clear the light. So when we moved this before, the wipers weren't working, and now they're actually working. So success. We diagnosed it was the lever, so it is the lever. So this is a successful repair. So now we need to put everything back together. So we're going to go a little bit further, because as we can see on the part that we got, these are a little bit worn out here, where on the one that's broken they're almost like brand new. So I want to actually exchange them, and I took these. There's one bolt here, one here, and there's this cover. This cover came from here. It has two bolts. Now we have a plate here that basically you just need to use a screwdriver to get it out. But these are little slots that go inside the metal pins. This has to be disconnected because this is for this part. Disconnected, and we have two more bolts. I believe we have these teeth here that we need to press around. So in order to get these out, I just used my hook tool and just kind of you pry it in and you lift it away from the tooth, and then you get it off. Same way here. There's an actual slot that you can use to put your hook tool, so you can open the plastic. And this is it. And this is how it works. Basically these two slide on these tracks, and this is it. Maybe these are worn out, I'm not sure. I need to recheck them and see. Maybe I can actually fix that instead of replacing it. So I believe I can see some issues here. I think these tracks are a little bit dirty or worn out. This is what goes, or this is what makes the contact. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to clean the tracks. I'm going to use the electric grease to put on them. And also I believe that this part could be responsible for the problem also, because I see the solders and I'm gonna resolder these solders to refreshen them up, and I believe this is how I'm gonna solve the problem. So I put some of the electric grease and I'm going to install this back. Also going to clean the tracks because they look dirty on the other side. You see these lines in the middle. I'm going to clean them with 1000 grit paper very, very lightly, as I'm going to clean these contacts too. So this is what it looks like when it's clean. The upper one is not used, so I'm only cleaning the lower one, and then I'm going to put the electric grease. So this is what the right side is supposed to look like. It's cleaner, so it's supposed to make a better contact. I cleaned these two. Now I need to clean this one and this one, because I believe that's where the problem is. The copper needs to be kind of refreshed. The dark spots need to disappear. So I have cleaned these with 1000 grit sandpaper lightly. They're clean, they don't have the dark spots anymore, no lines. I'm gonna do the same thing to the contacts here. These I'm gonna touch very, very lightly. You don't need to clean these up too much, just lightly. And next thing is I'm going to resolder these. I'm gonna put some soldering paste, and I'm just going to melt this and basically refresh the welds. They're pretty big, so they're visible. That's pretty much the whole thing on this electrical plate. So this is what it looks like. I have resoldered it and actually added some solder. I'm gonna start it back. I wanted to remind you to put the electric grease on all places where you see moving parts. This is going to help with the wear and tear on these parts. It seems like we're gonna have to push these first here. Oh no, I think I'm gonna install these first here, then I'm gonna push this on top of this. Make sure when you install these to get this tooth here inside of this bracket, because this bracket moves up and down, so this has to be installed first inside here. And actually we have a successful repair, because the broken one is now working. As you can see, all the functions are working, even the scooters are working. And we need to check the blinkers. Turn signal is working. Turn signal is working. High beam is working. Okay, so that was so far with the repair on this. Now it's time to put everything back together. So I am installing the parts back and need to make sure everything is plugged. This plug here, the one in the back, the big one here, and remember the little bracket with the bolt. This one here I already installed. I got it tight. You need to make sure that everything is centered with the dashboard. So this is your guide, this is centered. Also don't forget that this has to be to the left. Black one, the white one has to be also aligned here. And remember, we had a little pin right here, one, then we had another one down here, and then we have the other side here. So we should be right on the money. Everything is still working. Okay, so now we keep going. The next part would be the pedal shifters and the mount. Remember, this thing was just sliding over. So we're just gonna get it over. And you have to go under the rubbers. And on the bottom it had one little bolt. Okay, these rubbers are getting in the way. Let's see what's going on here. So I believe these rubbers are what's stopping everything, but we're back. Okay, everything is back here. Everything is in the place. So we just have to install the Allen bolts. These two Allen bolts. And if you remember, the third bolt had this bracket here, that holds this white plug right here. So stop the video because I need my two hands. I installed the pedal shifters. Like I said, 3 bolts, the second, and that's the third bolt down there. This is that holds this bracket here, and you slide the plug back in here. The connector is inside here, and now the most important part, these slots here, that both of them are aligned, the white and the black one basically will fit into these two. So you have the first step and then the second step. That's why these are very important to be aligned correctly. You have to be very careful when you install it. If you remember, I zip tied this so it doesn't move and it stays where it's supposed to be. Again, we check and recheck the slots. A slot here, these two before installation. So this is how it's supposed to go. You cannot force anything. The only thing you can do is just kind of slide it in, and that's it. And now we need to install the bolt. I have 1, 2, and 3. So the 3 bolts are installed. 1, 2, and 3. You have to remember that you need to connect the plug that controls, or the plug that gets the information from the steering angle sensor and I believe this wire needs to go here and right here into this space. So I'm gonna need to release this bottom bolt in order to get it through, because I didn't see the wire in the beginning. I took the bottom bolt out to get this wire and the plug behind, so that it goes into the proper place where it's supposed to be. So this is where the wire is supposed to go for the clock spring. That's right here, it's behind this, and it's all the way inside here, so you can't really see it. And then all you have to do is just, you can kind of maneuver around this or kind of move it to whatever place you want it to be. This is a soft metal, so it's alright, it's not gonna break. So this and this is ready for the bottom part. Make sure all connectors are plugged. This one, so this one is plugged, the one on the top, the one on the side, the big one. Okay, so the only thing left now is we have to get this through the steering wheel and make sure that the clock spring stays on. So I would actually rip the zip tie off now in order to install the steering wheel. So I just installed the steering wheel. We are on the mark. You need to make sure you are on the mark. We have a washer and the nut. So install the washer, then we'll install the nut. You can tie it by hand, and in a second I'm going to use not the impact gun, of course, but remember it's a 24mm socket. That's what I'm going to use to get this tied. So I just got it tied. Don't forget this nut that we took out in the beginning to fit over the metal nut. Here we go. And the next step is to connect the white and the black plug. That's, I believe it's for the controls of the steering wheel. And make sure you kind of stick it where it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be right here in this specific place. Well, actually it's supposed to be here. Okay, now we have the proper place. So there's a rubber holder and there's another rubber one here, and you stick this back. The only thing left is the airbag connectors. Check everything is tight. I just connected the airbag plugs. Very careful, extremely careful. Just put the locks back. They're ready. The airbag is ready to go back in. Again, remember these go inside the holes there. It should be pretty easy to fit in. You just kind of slide it in. Okay, one clicked and the left one clicked also. That's it. So the only thing we have left is the upper cover and this bottom cover here. Okay, everything is put together. Everything is fine. Now it's time. The paddle shifters work. Okay, now it's the moment of the truth. Let's see if everything works. Okay, we check the turn signal. Timer signal is working. High beams are working. Okay. Okay, the sprinklers are working. And this is the moment everything is working. Like I said, everything is working. Again, sprinklers going through the speeds. It's slowing down. Okay, good. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching.